In this unit, revision, we will see an introduction to the definition of revision, the contextualization of revision, the relationship between translator and reviser, error categories under revision and technology applied to revision. In the professional industry, there is often some confusion between quality control and revision, as it is understood that the former is synonym with the latter, or vice versa. Quality control covers the process of revision, review, and proofreading. It is important to make the distinction between systems that monitor and assess the performance of a project in general, and those that assess the output of the product, namely, service versus product. According to ISO 1700, revision is the bilingual examination of target language content against source language content for suitability for the agreed purpose. It is worth remembering that revision is not the only quality control step. It can be done alone. Revision and review can be done at the same time, depending on the case, the project and the audience. Proofreading can be included with them, only with revision, only with review, or on its own, and any other combinations we can think of. The academic industry is well aware of the importance of revision, especially as a learning tool. A number of studies and theories have been published on this subject over the years. This reference to the professional world of translation highlights the link that unites universities with translation companies and translators, but at the same time shows some very fine and unusual ways of collaboration. In the models proposed by all academic specialists, the quality depends on the purpose and function of the translation, so that the scopus takes precedence. The success of a translation company's project may depend directly on the effectiveness of the review process. However, for a review process to play its role, the applicable review criteria must be clearly defined. Both translation companies and translation teachers alike have developed translation quality assessment templates with different levels of quality according to the number of errors in short texts. Academic approaches to translation assessment have not yet been able to assist in a practical assessment of quality because they do not record the reality of translating and translations. The reviser performs this work as neutrally as possible, leaving aside personal tasters distorting the process. This relativity can give rise to the fact that revision and its procedures contain this peculiarity, the negotiation between objectivity and subjectivity, about what is correct or not, in other words, what is more appropriate. Novice translators often instinctively avoid risks by playing it safe or engaging in what we call risk aversion, clinging to dictionary definitions they can point to in self-defense, providing literal renderings of the source text and other approval-seeking behavior. Translation, at its best, is an essentially collaborative enterprise. It requires endless learning from each other, mentors, instructors, colleagues, and partners, every single day. So we should take the risk, right now, of being revised and rewritten and corrected. However, the relationship between the translator and the reviser is not an easy one, since the latter has the obligation to evaluate what the former has done. And no matter how clear the revision procedures are, there might be interferences. The problem is that these are spot checks, often done by poorly trained or stressed out revisers. In these cases, the revision process is notorious for causing delays and frustration on all parties. The key to a revision is that the translator has the possibility of communicating with the reviser, and vice versa, since they have to reach intersubjectivity as the ultimate goal. We understand that revision should have a formative and not a punitive effect, but the vicissitudes of day-to-day business force us to optimize time and resources, so it is not always possible to retain this formative character. However, the well-structured revision process has an undeniable advantage. It improves the translator's skills because they receive detailed reports of their errors, so that they can become aware of them and proceed to improve them. Revisions require a support for their registration, which are usually different templates customized according to the needs of each company or each project. Basic categories can take many names, such as linguistic conventions, accuracy, local conventions, appropriateness, completeness, etc., though they cover similar things. Those labels will depend on the need, criteria, procedures, and other factors in each customer or vendor. But the essence is the same: to assess the output quality by categorizing errors and applying different levels of severity or importance to make assessments as objective as possible. Categories are assigned levels of importance or severity. On these occasions, it is very important to take into account the probable subjectivity of the revisers, which may give rise to different interpretations of the seriousness of the error. There is no doubt that the quantification of translation errors and their categories is a constant in the world of translation, both academic and professional, although the approach taken by both differs mainly in pragmatic aspects. There is a specific technology that allows speeding up the revision process, tools with which it is possible to automate certain tasks that generate a report indicating the potential errors to be checked by the reviser, and that can save a lot of time in checking for errors in the use of the project terminology, common typing errors, style or terminology inconsistencies, numerical or reference errors, etc. I hope you enjoyed this unit. You can complete this introduction with the materials available in the platform. See you in the next video.